Welcome to your blogging era. In this video, we're going to go over how to get your blog set up, how it works, and how to edit the design, adding the Yoast SEO plugin, how to add categories, and going through an example post, and lastly, how to add more blogs to your design. First, we'll start off with how to get your blog set up. So one of the first steps, you'll click Connect Your Domain or Site Settings. They both go to the same place, and then you'll click Edit. Our domain is already connected, so I can't go through the steps within our site. However, we have a Show It help doc. This will be linked below in this video. And what you're going to do is either click Launch Your Site with a new blog, launch your site and migrate your current blog. So if you already have a blog through Squarespace or WordPress, the Show It team will help migrate your blog over. Or if you already have a Show It site, you can request a new blog or migration to be added to your site. So follow each one depending on what you're looking for or what your situation is, and it will walk you through step by step. So we'll go through, click edit, and then you'll just answer the questions. They're super easy. Once you hit submit here, it'll say, yes, proceed to blog setup. So we always recommend that you click proceed to blog setup. Even if you don't plan on blogging right away, this is so helpful to already have it done and ready so that when you're ready, your blog is ready. And then you'll just follow through. So if you're setting up a new blog, you'll select this. And then if you're migrating your existing blog, you'll go this route. And from there, you'll just answer each question. After that, you will get a notification from the Show It team once it's complete, once the setup is completed, and then you'll have to point your DNS to Show It. So I'll also have the domain connections help doc below. So that will be whether you purchased your domain name from GoDaddy or Google Domains, Bluehost, Squarespace, Wix. Show It has step-by-step help docs walking you through that process. Once you get the DNS pointed to the Show It app, you will then reach out to the Show It team to ask them to set up the SSL certificate. So you can do that by going down here to the chat feature, and you'll message them here and just ask for them to apply an SSL certificate. You'll get the little lock icon here, and that will mean your site is secure. All right, now that we have that part set up, you will then receive a login to WordPress. So I'm currently logged into our WordPress account, but you will receive your own login information. When you're in the Show It app, if you click down here to your name and click Manage Account, it's going to take you to a window that looks like this. This is where you can also get to your blog admin, and it'll pull you right there. You can also see when your site is online and secure, you'll be able to view your DNS records. So as soon as you have to point those, it'll show you here which ones you have to add in your domain registrar. And through that process, you can always message the Show It support team here if you have any questions. They're so helpful, and it just makes the whole process super easy. All right, so this is what your WordPress dashboard will look like, and you'll have your design within Show It. So we'll go over just how it actually works. So in Show It, we have the blog page. This is our blog layout. So we get to create the layout within Show It and add in our category. So these are all placeholders. All of these images here, so if we go to the page, we have post layout 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are all just placeholders. The things you can edit on your blog page are going to be this, like these words, these words, and this photo. We're going to go over shortly how to edit these, but this is how you could easily come in here and edit these 3 things. Down here, you can swap these photos with your own photos, so that way it's all of your photos, and that will be, again, just a placeholder. When it comes to actually writing your blogs, you're going to be doing that in WordPress, and we'll go through an example blog post together. This is a placeholder. So in WordPress, when you write a blog, for example, it's about a wedding, you're going to have a featured category, not featured, just a regular category that will be called wedding. So in WordPress, you'll select what category it is, you'll set the featured image in WordPress, and then you'll set the blog post title in WordPress. So anything related to actually writing the blog, the photos for the blog, the category, the blog post title will all be done within WordPress, and this is only the design and layout here. If you wanted to edit any part of the design, the things that you could do would be changing the category font. You could change the filed in font. So if we select that, we could say, oh, I want all of the filed in to be green. So you'd come through here and just select everything to be green. Again, we'd have to double check mobile. So you'd have to manually change the color on desktop and mobile so you can really have that creative freedom. So we could change the specific colors. You could change the actual font. So maybe filed in would stay the same. Maybe it's green, maybe it's black. For category, we could change this to perfectly 90s font. Here, we could also change the color. We could change the size. You'll notice if I change the size, it is starting to get cut off. I have this one set for overflow. I have it set to crop so that the words aren't overlaying on top of the blog post. So if you do make something bigger, this will have to be, the blue bounding box will have to be pulled down so that you can see that. Same thing for the blog post titles. So if you change the font or make it bigger, you'll notice that it starts to get cut off. We have the overflow here set to crop for the same reasons. So you'll just want to make sure if you do make it bigger that you're bringing this box down a little bit so the letters aren't cut off. Those are a few things that you could edit right away. For blog post title 1, all of this is in a canvas view. This is how WordPress and Show It communicate. So if you wanted to change this photo, for example, this could be bigger. We would just want to make sure everything for blog post 1, so the photo, the category, the blog post title, all of that would stay in the same canvas view 1. So there is some kind of editing that you could do. This could even be smaller this way. You could change the photo size because, again, this is just the placeholder. So this could be bigger in a few different directions. So you have that creative freedom as well. You could do that with blog post layout 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they all could change the actual font, the size, the color, the photo size could change. Those are the things that you could easily edit within the design. Now I want to walk through just what this is actually doing. So when people come to your blog page and, for example, they're going to click on this first blog post, what they see is going to be this single post page. So here they're going to see the same featured image. So whatever image you have here in the featured image will be the same featured image here. So on this page, the things you could edit would be the photo itself. So you could just swap this photo to one of your photos. It still is going to be a placeholder. You're going to set that featured image in WordPress. But the things you could change would be the size. If you're like, oh, I want this to be full width, we could bring that over and up, and then we would turn on horizontal locking and just click center. That could be full width here. Next, we've got the same process, so you could change the filed in. That could be a different font, a different color. Category, this is a placeholder for your actual blog categories to populate in this area. So this, we could change the color, the font, the size, same thing. And same thing with blog post titles. So this, we could change color, we could change the font, the size, line height, the alignment, letter case, all of that can be updated. And then down here is where your blog post content will show up. So again, this is a placeholder. This is saying to tell WordPress, like, we want all of our post content to show up in this canvas. This canvas is set to grow with content. So when you're creating a blog post, all of the text and the photos you add in WordPress are going to populate in this canvas. Next, we have comments. So if you want people to be able to comment on your blog post, that will load right here, the form, and your comment form will load here, and comments will load here. If you don't even want to have comments available, we could simply just hide these. You'll want to keep the next post canvas on here. That way people can go to other blog posts. And then you'll also notice we have a category page. So if people are on your blog page, and we're going to go through adding your categories very soon. But for example, category 1, let's just say that's weddings. This means we have a lot of blog posts with weddings tagged. So when people click category 1, which will say weddings, they're actually going to be taken to the category page, and all of these will populate with all of your blog posts that have the weddings category selected. This is super helpful because potential dream clients can see what types of weddings you do, what kind of photos you get from a wedding, where do you travel for weddings. Like, it's so helpful for people to come through and really see your beautiful work, and using your blog as your portfolio is so helpful for your dream clients to navigate, to improve your search engine optimization. It's so helpful. All right, now we're going to jump over to WordPress. So one of the first things we recommend is to add the Yoast SEO plugin. So from there, we're going to go to plugins and click add new. Here we can type in Yoast. Ours is already connected, but what you'll see, it'll say like install now, or if we even just click plugins and scroll down, you should see yours here, and you'll click activate. Ours is already activated, so it's right here, but you'll click activate. Next, we're going to add in your blog categories. So for this, we're going to go to posts and then categories. We're going to go to your show it site, go to the blog page, we'll go to page. So blog categories, this has the gray diagonal lines, which means it's a site canvas. When we make these edits, we're going to see this site-wide wherever this canvas is located. So we'll click edit, and then we have category 1. So for example, let's do weddings. So in show it, we're going to type weddings. Then in WordPress, under categories, we're going to add new. This will be weddings. The slug will be all lowercase with no spaces, and then we'll click add new category. We're going to go back to our show it design, and we're going to go to click actions. Under the type, it will say URL, and then you're going to keep all of this here. Right after, you're going to add weddings, all lowercase with no spaces, and then just click off in this negative space so that it is here. That is connecting WordPress and Showit, saying, hey, when people click on this word weddings, they're going to see all of the blog posts with the weddings category selected. Next, let's do maybe something that is 2 words. So mentor sessions. For the slug, it'll be lowercase with a hyphen, sessions, and then click add new category. You'll see right here, this is the slug. So we want to copy that. We're going to go back to Showit. Category 2 is going to say mentor sessions. We're going to go to click actions. After / category / we're going to paste mentor sessions. And now that's added. So again, when anybody clicks mentor sessions, they're going to see all of the blog posts that have the mentor sessions category selected. And you're going to repeat the process for category 3 and category 4. If you find that you have more categories that are super beneficial for your business, we can simply, I'm going to select these. I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard to keep that same alignment. Pulling those up, I'm going to duplicate category 4, pull this down, and I'm going to select both category 4s so I can align to the left. And here would technically be category 5. So I can select all of these, and then I'm going to distribute the space so that it's even. And then we would repeat the same process. So for example, if this one was elopements, we'd add it here, and then we'd go into WordPress, add it here, and then update the link here. Now, we definitely want to make sure we check mobile. So if this is the case, we're going to move this search bar down, add this one over. I can select all of these so I can get the spacing. Perfect. So now you have categories. You could add as many as you want that you find are really helpful for your business and are really helpful for your dream clients to view. All right, we're going to go back to the home page because we also have a featured blog canvas. So this one is set up to show 3 blog posts that have the featured category selected. So in WordPress, we need to add the category called featured. The slug will be all lowercase. And then just click add new category. In Showit on the homepage, the canvas is already set up for you. So we're telling it to like, hey, WordPress, I need you to look up 3 blog posts that have the featured category selected. And then once you create a blog post, you'll select the featured category. We'll go through that in our example, but though we need to add the featured category, and then of course, any categories you want for your blog page right here. Now that we've added the categories, we're going to go over and do an example blog post. So from here, we can go to post, we can go to add new, or we can go to the top where it says new and then add post. Here is where you can add a title. This is helpful to look at our design. So we can see we have about this much space in the blue box here that's saying like this is where a blog post title can go. So we'll come back here, and for your title, we always recommend to use some keywords. So this could be New York City elopement. Something like that, where we're adding in the like location, the type of session, This is going to be super helpful when people are searching on Google for this type of content. From here, you're going to type actual words. So it's super helpful for your blog post to actually have words in them, and you can just start typing. So we recommend 300 to 1,000 words describing your blog. So this is a great area to add in any kind of keywords. So location is super helpful, adding in the type of session, maybe like what is something, like how did you prepare for this session? What was the session like? Did you help your clients pick out their outfits? Did you find the location? Like what would be really helpful for your dream clients to know about this specific session? If you find you're getting really like stuck on what to write, we also use Chat GPT. This is a free resource, and you just like sign in, make a free account, and in here we could say like write a blog post about a New York City elopement with Sarah and Jane. So you'll see then it will come up with a blog post. Of course, when you ask and like say like, hey, could you write a blog post? You could say like, write a blog post that's friendly and genuine. You can give way more descriptive words here. You could also say the amount of words. And then once it's done, you could pull from it parts that like are relevant. And then of course, when you bring it, like you just copy whatever parts you want to keep. And then in here, you'll just paste. So that's a fun little resource that can be super helpful, at least to get started. And then you'll come in here and edit it and really make it your own. From there, we will add in photos. So you'll see this little plus sign. If you don't, you can also use this plus sign, select it and click gallery. We'll go to the media library. We already have some in here where you can select as many photos as you want. We'll insert a gallery. So this will kind of auto put in the photos for you. If we click this negative space, you'll see on the right-hand side, we have a block, gallery. This is the number of columns, so we could switch that. We have it set to crop photos. If you turn that off, it will be the photo's size. So if you like having this negative space, you can totally keep that. It is up to you. From there, I think it's nice adding smaller galleries, so having like 4 photos. And then the next one, I'll click enter, click the plus sign, click gallery, media library, and then I'm gonna do 1 photo. So you can kind of create a little bit of a different, unique layout just by the way you add in the photos. If you also have a photo here and it's selected, we can use this to reposition. You could also crop, and you could link specifically this photo. You can click replace and go to your media library or click upload. And you would just keep repeating the process. I always recommend somewhere between 25 to like 40 photos, whatever really tells the story. So if you're like, no, girl, I need more photos than that, by all means, like if it makes sense for the blog post, then add those in. And when you're uploading these photos, we always use JPEG Mini. That allows us to reduce file size without losing the quality of the photos. So be sure to run it through something like that so your files are a little bit smaller. That way your blog post will still load pretty quickly. Next, you'll see the Yoast SEO plugin. So this is great to improve your search engine optimization. And the cool thing about it is it will literally tell you what to improve. So we could add a focus key phrase here. This could be something like with your keyword. So New York City elopement. You can also click these little question boxes here and you'll get more Yoast blog posts with actual more info around that specific thing. So if you want more info, it is available. Next down here, the SEO title, this does not have to be the same as your title up here. So if it's specific for the, what I want to, like for, this is where we want to use those keywords again. So I kind of like to use them in both places, but we could also have that and we'll see that like this is green. So now we'll do a meta description. So you'll come in here and add a short description with adding in the key phrase. And then it'll kind of tell you right here the like analysis if it's like good or bad. So if you type like way too many letters, and we keep going, this will get red. And just say like orange and stuff. So you kind of know, and you'll get better and better at this. So don't get stuck on this part. It is going to get better and better as you go. Next, we're going to have our analysis here. So you're going to see these specific things. So it's like, ooh, outbound links, no outbound links in this page. So add some. So think of this as like, you know, when you do a wedding, you have other vendors. So we could have like, oh, this is the cake vendor. So I'm going to add a link. You'll paste a link here, click this blue tab, and then I'm going to have it click open in a new tab. So if we're ever linking out to somebody else's website, always click open in a new tab. Then you'll scroll back down here and like, oh, so now it says outbound links are good. So depending on how much content, like actual words in your blog post, it'll say add 2 to 3 outbound links, stuff like that. Next, we have internal links. So this is a great place to link to your own website. So throughout here, if you want to have a call to action so people know that they could also book you. So we'll do this, say this is going to your contact page. Technically, you wouldn't have to open in a new tab. This would be a personal preference. Since they're still staying on your site, you wouldn't have to, and then you'll just click this blue arrow. This, because it would be the actual link, would go away. Then you'll see this, like this is red, so key phrase and introduction. Your key phrase or its synonyms do not appear in the first paragraph, so then you'll want to come back up here to the top and we're going to add in this key phrase. So it's super helpful because it literally will just tell you what to add and how to, essentially how to do it. So here, images, when you see something like this, the alt attribute is going to be right here. So when you select the image, you'll come right here. This is where I would add something, a keyword, but also adding in your title. And then you'll have to add it on more images or even its synonyms with that. So you'll just go through and easily add those in, come back down here, Meta description length. So same thing, right? It'll just tell you what to do. And of course, it usually has all these like little links. So if you do need to figure out, well, what does that mean? You could click these links and it will tell you. We also have readability. So this is saying that it's good already. But if you get like an orange or red smiley face, it will tell you exactly what to update right here. If you want to make a subheading, that is usually one of the things. If we click this, we go to paragraph, we'll click heading, and here we can make it, this is going to be your H1, so your title will always be the H1, and you only want one H1. So then we'll click, this could be an H2 or even an H3. And that's how you would make that. Then over on the side here, we have our post. So like we said, the homepage has 3 blog posts that have the featured category selected. So we need at least 3 for the homepage. And you can also select if it's featured, but it's also weddings. You can have as many categories selected as relevant to this blog post. Next, we're going to come down here and set a featured image. So we'll click set image. So if we look at our show it design, and let's go to the home page, these will be the featured images. So the 3 I pick will be here. And then if somebody clicks this, they're going to go to a single post page. This is also the featured image right here. Now, if we go to our blog page, these are the featured images. So for example, if we're doing this first blog post, my featured image is going to go right here. Then we have save draft, preview, or publish. If we click publish, we can go to visibility. You can see this right here. When you're going to go to launch your site, of course, we're going to want these blog posts published. But if you click immediately, you also have the option to schedule out blog posts. So in the future, you can do that as well. And then you'll click schedule. We can save draft here. And we'll go back out to WordPress. Here we're going to see our draft. Of course, we want that published. We can do an edit, a quick edit. Here, if we had to update categories or maybe the title, you can do all of that right here. When you add a blog post and you publish them in WordPress, the back end of Show It, like these in here, are not going to change. Again, these are just the placeholder. So these photos won't change. The blog post title on the back end of Show It will not change. The only way you'll see them is live when the blog posts are published and you publish your site. So that's when you're going to be seeing them. Next, if you're like, hey, I would actually like more blog posts on my blog page. So you could actually pull from any of these designs. You could repeat the design again, or kind of change it. So if we're like, I want to have another blog post, so I'm going to go to layout 2. That's this one. And I'm going to hit duplicate. From here, I'm going to pull it right below layout 4. And let's rename this to 5. So you'll notice now it's down here. So now on this page, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then we'll go to WordPress. I'm going to click settings and I'm going to go to reading. So right here it says blog pages show at most 9. So if we add another design where we just did, so we just added number 10 in WordPress, this needs to go up to 10, and then we'll click save changes. So that is how you'd be able to add more blogs to your blog page. And I will see you on the next one.